generative AI properly is we have a user input here and we have these LLMs, and the LLMs would generate, let's say, 10 examples, but those 10 examples would go back to a skilled person and then update the LLM. So again, the scenario we saw where you have a chemistry major and he is trying to get into CS, you can have a loop which only focuses here, which is feedback loop that focuses on people from different backgrounds for a different task, and hence once you have that LLM, that could be used. So essentially it is a human in the loop scenario. It's not that we have a device and we just let it play on its own. It always has to work in a supervision because essentially it's a tool. Okay, so this is the last section. So emerging AI tools for education. So this is a report that was published by ISC in around 23-24. So what ISC did is it asked some of its faculties, I think 91 or 25 to 90, that range, those faculties, about generating a report which talks about the AI tools in education and research. Since ISC is mostly a research organization, we would want to be very clear about the tools useful for research. So there are two parts to this. First part is, there are three parts to this. First part is a community poll from students. So what issues they are facing, how do they view it? A community poll from faculties, what do they think about this? And then certain guidelines from other universities and other conferences, because we essentially want to see what those audiences think about when it comes to research. So insights from students is, there was a survey done with 525 students in that group, and most of these students have a very similar theme of response, where it is good for paraphrasing and research, but it is not good for logical reasoning, it is not good for mathematical proofs, which is a fact which I think all of us know about. But one very concerning thing about these reports, and especially with Gen Z, is that they have this habit of thinking of these AI tools as a counselor to sort out their emotional troubles, which is again a very big no, but yes, that is something which is being done. So that is a very big concern for students who are going through a traumatic experience, who are taking guidance from ChatGPT, which may most likely not give a good answer, but again that's done. And I think the CEO of OpenAI has come out and said that these statements that are made to ChatGPT can be taken directly by the government, so you are liable to actions there. So again, that's a very big thing, but that's something which a lot of students are doing. Some of the top colleges, the statements they have with generative AI tools is that, again, a statement by ETH Zurich is submitting assignments and plagiarizing code or math proof using direct AI tool is unacceptable, and it is again essentially plagiarized because you are taking it for LLM, which is taken it from someplace else. So I think in those universities, even in ISC, those are grounds for removing or removal of the students. There are institutes like Cornell which has said that over-reliance on these tools is driving down the ability of students to think properly. Okay. The comments from ISC faculty is that a lot of people have mixed reaction. A big fraction, which is around 30%, think that it is and minus, and a big crowd, which is 20 to 30%, think that it doesn't really have any effect. It is just giving you a theme, but a student will still have to do a lot more to go from that theme. And finally, there are guidelines and recommendations for teaching, which was officially published by this report. And I think I agree with most of these statements, which is there is a lot of excitement and concerns. However, using AI tools as a printer-ready tool to generate code and paste it somewhere else is a big concern, and I think a lot of these institutes are going to increase the punishment threshold for people or students who are doing this directly. Technology is no substitute for faculty, which is something even I agree upon, that AI cannot develop a course content for you. It can map a course content from some other university to you, so it can bring back that. So you don't have to Google properly. You don't have to Google anymore. taking from some place and giving it. And finally, AI tools are not virtual teaching assistants. So I think a lot of graduate courses have teaching assistants which would help students out. But AI is just giving you a boilerplate template. It's not really a substitute for these assistants. Okay. So I have been working on a particular startup where they are trying to use AI for analytics. So they have this detection of players. We can see the ball trajectory, and essentially it will generate a heat map trying to give us a proper analytics information about how each player was playing, what was his pose during attack, what was his pose not during attack, during defense. And I feel AI is very good for analytics purpose. It will give you extremely strong information. However, using AI directly to generate a summary is something which even I am very hesitant to use. And I think there are a lot of startups that jump to that conclusion, but they will realize that that's not an optimal way of using these assistants and these models. Okay, thank you. So I am open to questions.
Most of the even students and even faculty they are using working depending on AI.
Yes.
Which is definitely suppressing the critical.
Yes.
And also another issue is copyright.
Another issue of copyright.
Whenever we give assignment to students,
yes,
most of them they over ChatGPT
yes, yeah.
as it was there are scholars. So what is your suggestions? How we can bring out these drawbacks in the future AI models, generative AI?
So like there are two reports. One survey was done by MIT that says that people who use ChatGPT are significantly lower in cognition, because earlier they used to think, now they are just using this. And there was again one more very recent study. I think a lot of people are very upset about it, that there was a study that says that using internet is declining your cognitive ability by 10 years. So tomorrow if I stop using the internet, I will resume my actual cognitive ability. So there is a very big drop here. So that is there, like cognition is very affected by ChatGPT. But the way I see it, at least in IIT, is even if they take a code from some place, the assignment is not, how do I say, the assignment requires them to solve something. So essentially they will have to sit and they will have to solve. So ChatGPT can give it a formula, but it can't help them to solve the assignment. So I think we need to come up with a level where assignments are not just simple code. You need to sit and edit something, only then the code will work. So that is my opinion, because I took a robotics course and they had a lot of assignments, and one assignment used like 5 days to solve. So those things I don't think ChatGPT can do, because it's not very good logically. So any math-based assignment is generally a good assignment, because LLMs do not do it. So that is my opinion.
How do you next future of this generative?
So currently the future is a lot of lawsuits, because a lot of people are upset that their data is gone away. So I think that is there. And sir, it depends, because if it's a research organization, you don't have to generate profits. You just have to generate a lot of data, a lot of code. But from a business perspective, it's not very intuitive, because OpenAI is yet to make profit. So out of those many billions invested, there is no profit now. So will the company go ahead with this or not is a big question. So I think you will see a little bit of pause for some time. Some of them have?
Stock market.
Yeah, they are trying to develop, yes.
Most of them are also using.
Yes.
Is it reliable?
They are trying to make it reliable, but I don't think it's reliable for now. It is, I think that it's high frequency trading, which is less 3 or 4 seconds they have to make a switch. And LLMs will take much more time than that. So I think there's a long way to go. There are people using it because I think Perplexity has an option where you can track the Indian stock market. So eventually they will try to target that. But if they can do it or not is something else. Yes.
In your presentation, you have moved the slides which are eye-catching. Which tool did you use for that, and in which model? And is there any other model like for generating the workflow diagram? If we generate that workflow diagram, does it consider as a plagiarism?
So there is agentic AI model known as so the spelling is manus.com. Manus AI. MANUS. So I have heard it generates decent presentations, but I don't know about copyright because essentially it's taking from some place.
It's a full PPT. I'm asking about the workflow diagram.
No, workflow diagram. I took it from this paper actually, which was published in IEEE Access. But yeah, essentially it's tools like PPT or draw.org.
You want to generate the like workflow diagram? Which tool?
No, currently I don't know of those tools. I'm also trying to find out because it will be very helpful for my papers also. But currently I don't know. There are 3 tools: presentation, PPT, Canva, and draw.org. But those are tools to make it. There is no command where you can do it. Currently we don't know.
You have to do it manually.
Yes.
I want to know the like, if we just do the, it has to be the workflow diagram.
Sir, we can try that with ChatGPT, but it's not beautiful. It is just template.
What is the scope of AI in the field of arts? Let's say, for example, storytelling or script writing songs.
So assuming the copyright issue is not there, assuming those things are not there, yeah, art is very subjective. So ChatGPT can give us 10 commands, and you may like 2, I may like 2, and there may not be any overlap. So since it's giving so many ideas, some of the things will eventually is something that can go ahead. So in those domains, generative AI is very good. Like in art and all, it's pretty good. But if you want it to be factually correct or semantically consistent, then there's still some scope to go.
A lot of studios or movies, production managers are coming up with AI studios for creating movies and also
CGI is very heavily benefited from generative AI because you had a CGI, like I think there are some movies recently who are using bad CGIs, but you can use generative models to make it more realistic. Yeah, so I think they are working on it.
Let's say if I give a story,
Yes.
create a simple video.
Yeah, it can. There is a model known as Sora, SORA from OpenAI. So if you give Sora, if you give it a prompt like a fish going from an ocean to a sea, it will actually generate it.
And the characters, will they be consistent?
That, yeah, I think it depends on prompts. Like you have one video, you keep adding prompts and it would keep changing. But yeah, it depends on the user. For me, I may not like it, but for somebody else.
I tried some creating generating storyboards for one project, but for one scene it creates characters properly. The next scene the character
Forgotten.
it creates a report for character. At least the appearance.
Yes. And they will also have a bandwidth, like 2 minutes. If it goes more than that, you have to generate a newer video, and then there will not be any correlation.
Even in images also it's true. Trying multiple solutions.
Yeah. This is even an idea. So yeah, that's it. Yes.
Set up diffusion models.
Yeah.
The
this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like, so generally what would happen is when we had earlier diffusion models, they would just generate a byte, but the byte would be somewhere else. So I can't use this segmentation mask for that image because the person is here and the segmentation mask is right there. The label are displayed. Currently there are models which are able to generate consistently. So a byte here in all of these figures will maintain its semantic consistency. And they show, but there are less work. It's not a very mainstream thing. There are very less labs who are able to do it. So it's a very hard field now. But yeah, if you train a deep learning model with that kind of data, it would be more generalized. So it is consistent, yeah. But not mainstream thing. There are very less models that can do it. That's a very hard way. That's a very hard technology. We take a break now. I have a hands-on session, but it's not a long session, it's a 10-minute session just to show the workflow of the code. So I think after that I can conclude this.
Can you please share?
Yeah.
Robotics, the field you are working.
Huh?
The AAC robotics in its
Yeah. Like my research focuses on, I have almost like, so my research focuses on, we have a car, we have a drone, we have a drone or a satellite image, and if you see any robotic system, there are 5 parts or 4 parts: perception, localization. So perception is seeing the environment, localization is saying, okay, this is the environment, where am I currently, then path planning algorithm to go there, and then maybe some. So my research focuses on the perception part. So if a robot is there, is it able to understand the scene properly? And then the localization team or the path planning team can go ahead with that. So if we see ground level view, it is front view of a car. Then I have worked on drones. So we had a drone data set recently, and then there is satellite images. So my research works mostly on this. So this is one data set we collected from ISC. So this is using RGB and IR cameras. So this is in the Gymkhana bridge. This is in different scenarios across Bangalore. So we had a drone and we flew the drone. The first author for this paper is Manjunath. I think he gave a talk. So he's from India. Yeah. So yeah, this is my research.
based on environment, the performance is very good.
Yeah, right. There is a slide. So this is in sunny weather. This is the segmentation mask. But at night, this is the segmentation mask. So there's nothing that it can do. So it will fail. So now how do I make it work is my question. Can I start now? So this is the hands-on session, but it's only going to take 10-15 minutes. So I'll just briefly introduce GANs. So these are generative adversarial networks. So the way to create this model is we have a generator that will try to generate an image. Okay, we have a generator that will try to generate an image, and then we have a discriminator. The task of discriminator is to make sure, so it has one job where it will say, okay, the image is either a real image or it is an image generated by the generator. And they play an adversarial game, so they try to counter each other. So a generator will generate a sample, discriminator will say, okay, it's a real sample or a sample generated by the generator. And the generator essentially needs to up its game and then generate a more real data. So we have generator and then we have the discriminator, and essentially the generator and discriminator are getting noise, so they both will be pretty bad. But eventually, once the training is done, the generator will generate an image and the discriminator will try to keep countering it until the generator generates an image that is similar to a real world image. In this case, it's a cat, and then the discriminator will eventually stop it. So once the generator is trained, we will use the generator itself to generate these samples. So this is on the MNIST data set. Since we are doing it on Google Colab on a smaller data set, we are only using MNIST. So MNIST is a data set which has 0 to 9 characters. So we can see it here. These are just characters, and the model should say it's either of these characters. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've run the code. We can run it again. This is a TensorFlow code, so I'm not very big fan of TensorFlow. I'm more accustomed to PyTorch. So this is where we import the libraries. We will load the MNIST dataset from TensorFlow itself. Then we will make a train test split. Finally, we will generate a data loader. The generator is a very simple model. So we have seen the generator here. We have seen the generator here. So it will take a unit, it will take a noise and it will keep upsampling it. So it's an encoder itself. It will take a feature map, it will upsample the feature map into the dimension of the data. So this is the architectural configuration of the generator, and we can see that we have a convolution transpose because we want to keep upsampling it until it reaches the image data. This is the discriminator. Now generally discriminator may also have the same model architecture as the generator. Since this is MNIST, we just have a vanilla small model, and finally we just go to the generated image here. So the GAN is slowly trying to train for different epochs, and it is trying to generate this image. So if you see the actual image, it would look something like this. So this is how the MNIST dataset looks like. These are just numbers in black and white. And the GAN should essentially try to come up to those numbers, but currently the way it's performing is not that great. But eventually it's only 15 epochs. When we keep the model to train for a longer time, it would generate those kind of images. So this is how we are generating. The GAN is generating, the discriminator is trying to counter it, and eventually the generator would come up to a better stage. So the images would look more like this. but currently it's training. So for each training iteration, we are plotting the images. And just a very small bit. So we have a training loop. The training loop goes on for epochs, and for each epoch we will generate the images via the generator, which is the output of the generator, and then we will save the images. So this is the training loop, and again it is trained with its own analysis. So if you have any questions, you can let me know. I'm just going to the generated image. I'm not going to the whole code aspect. Yeah. So the intention of generator is to generate an image to fool the discriminator. So if the discriminator is too good from the beginning, the generator would want to up its game and generate a better image. So the loss will not be like it will not drop gradually, it will drop directly because the generator needs to update. But there is something known as modality collapse, where the generator can just collapse and not work. So that is one thing we need to take. Yes. Yes. No, sir, can you repeat it?
Fine-tune image we need to get a brain.
Fine-tune image we need to get a? Yes. We need to get the actual image like this, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yes. No. Generator will only stop once the discriminator is not able to. When the discriminator is continuously saying, I think this is making a false prediction, then the generator will stop. Yes, then generator will keep generating. It will keep on generating until it makes sure that discriminator is being full. So discriminator is making a false prediction. It will only stop once the discriminator is saying it's a true sample, but it's not a true sample. Yes. Yeah. Yes. No, generator will keep generating because the discriminator is correct, right? The generator wants to fool the discriminator. So if the discriminator is correct, it will keep generating until the discriminator says, okay, I think I'm making it. I think there was a GAN session also, right? Yeah, I think we should ask this question. Okay, so I don't think there are any questions. You can, I'm not sure how to share this Google Colab, but it is open source and I didn't face any errors here. So if you want, you can run it now, but I'm not sure how to send it. So we have a case ID.
Once generator now
Yeah.
start fooling discriminator.
Yes.
That generator can be used for synthesizing real-time images in future because
Yeah, that is what it is doing. Like it is learning and eventually it will go to the actual image. Yes. We are plotting all images. We are not only plotting the images. But if it is learning like that, so with each epoch, it will keep becoming better. Sir, I've said it. So I've shared the link with sir. I think sir will made it. We just have to run on. This is the only command we need to do, and it will run all tabs, all cells. So this is one model Sora that I was talking about. So here you can have different kinds of videos. You can just give a text prompt and it will generate these videos. However, how long is it and is it very consistent is something that we should check. But this is one of those videos. So one of those tools. For the Google Color, you can just do the run all. It will take its time, but it will start. It will run all cells and it will start generating videos. So if you have any questions, you can let me know. And we'll close this session now. Sir, you know. Yes. So the loss for the generator will not be optimized for those cases. It is only when both of them have 0 and same digits. Only then the generator is supposed to optimize. For discriminative? For discriminative? Yes. No, not different sample. Same sample. So generator should generate 0, but it should be a little. It should be as so. If you have a cat here, the generator should generate the cat, and the discriminator should say it's not a cat. So even for numbers, it would be 0 and 0, but it should be as close to the real data as possible. So it should not be different labels. Same label, different style. Okay, so we close the session now. In case you have any doubts, you can let me know. If you just have to do run all, then it will run all. No, I think the first 500 credits are free, but yeah, I think it's a bit of. I only use it once, and then it showed you're out of credits.
For the starting only it has showed out of credits.
So you have used that like PPT, right? And so which tool you have used?
PPT.
Normal PPT.
No AI tools. if it's from the paper, then it's paper figures, but most of it is like done repetitively.
Finished. Start reflection. The article discussions. Once you have any queries, you can ask.
You can present him. It's waiting for you.
If you have any queries,
If you finish.
if you have any queries, any questions. On top of that, they can do editing, but they put hours of last one. What is last one? Yes. Yes. Article description team. Document purpose, you are taking that record.
But essentially there is the distributor also. So that is a You will stop the model. And that generator will take this program, but if you see this empty there is a this is what happens. That is good. If you have anything please follow this. This is what is what like this or what I can just put it for us for articles like so Saturday no. We can use word to write and texting.
You want my laptop? You do in when will do? Your sci-fi, mine is i9.
sharing the knowledge as well as spending your valuable time over here. We are glad we have you here for this session. Now I request HOD to present the message.
I think they know everybody is getting ready of it,
discussion. Presentation is different. About 10 to 15 minutes discussion or open article from the team. 10 minutes you have to discuss. Sometimes they are
sometimes you don't get it. Because once the bus is coming there,
ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬರೀ ಹಾಂ ಅಲ್ಲ ಕೋಡಿನ ಕಡೆ ಏನೇನಾ ಅನಿಸ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅನಿಸ
ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡ
ಬಟ್ ಈ ಅದು ಹಾಂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
Once you are completed, you can say other member name and hand over. Can give same thing. Gaurav, start. Start. Ready? Need mic.
Can you say like because you need to record the audio?
Okay, start. Put slides.
You type this. There minus is there. Before that. Not that one. Last.
Hello everyone, we are PG scholars from Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anandapur in Andhra Pradesh. Our presentation is on AI in healthcare and public sector. We are a team of 6 members and I myself am Shakradhar, studying MTech in Andhra. Here are our team members.
This is Lavanya. I'm a PhD scholar in EC department, Generative University.
Hi, this is Rajesh, studying MTech in Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University.
Good morning to everyone. My name is P. Harika. I am from JNTU Anantapur, Andhra Pradesh. I am a PG scholar.
Myself, Oman sir. I am from PhD scholar from JNP.
Contents include introduction, key principles, applications and main takeaways and at last the conclusion and AI in healthcare. So we all know the AI is heavily increasing in public sector and medical appliances, but we need to be case sensitive that include high risk applications. So we have to know the importance of giving information and feeding insights from AI that reflects back in real projects into the AI research. So the key principles my friend Lavanya will take from here.
Now I will share information about the key principles. Key principles are like a roadmap and they guide us for the understanding, applying and give the information concurrently. Here there are 4 key principles are there. Mainly the social mechanism and representation formalisms and trustworthiness and regulations and human-centered designs. Can I go for one by one? Social mechanisms. AI must work in the human context and respecting the ethics, trust and the regulations. And the representation formalisms, AI should balance the symbolic reasoning with embedded to be effective and reliable. Trustworthiness and the regulations means Any AI system in healthcare or public sector must meet the strict certifications, standards, and avoid the harmful incentives. And finally was the human-centered design. AI agents should adopt the social context, avoid the bias, and support the human decision making rather than replacing it. And the applications can be shared by my friend Mr. Rajesh.
These are some of the applications of AI in healthcare. So, in that, these are the applications for the real world studies. So, in that, the first one, emotion recognition in the healthcare system means the emotions can be recognized by an AI. So, if the patient in healthcare, the patient is feeling like sad or pain or happy, so it can recognize by an AI through an emotional recognition. So, and the second one is social reports in city offices. So, the social reports means the reports which may help with an AI. So, if the patient is getting a report from the, so it can, robot can remind the patient to take medicine and to fill the forms, and it will be useful with AI in healthcare. So the third one is AI support for medical diagnosis. So it can be more useful to the doctors. So you can easily identify the disease by giving some scan images and reports, and it can easily detect the diseases, and we have to quickly respond to that health. And like the main is COVID, so it can improve the health programs by spreading how the health spread is going. By using an article, we can quickly remind that so what health improvements. And the another one is privacy preserving data. So in that in smartphones and hospital they are using the, so lot of privacy information is more secure in AI. So in, for example, if we using fitness app, we are providing receipt of an patient. So in that, so it can share only the improvement of health. It won't share any raw data like personal information anything. So the next topic will continue by radio.
Here are some takeaways of AI healthcare. AI in high-risk areas must be trustworthy, ethical, and explainable. That propagated necessity of application safety, storage, IT sector, strengthens the field. Combining symbolic and data-driven methods is the robust AI. Continuous learning engines AI states relevant to and reliability in dynamic environments. Next is on.
So good morning to everyone present here. I'm so glad to stand here in front of you all. So first of all, I would like to wish all the distinguished professors who are present here. I wish you good morning to all. And I'm very so thankful to the entire institute for providing me such a great offline FDP on the concept of exposing generative AI on models, applications and innovations. So our team, our friends were told regarding the topic concept about AI, healthcare and public sector. So standing to give a conclusion about this topic is that, so artificial intelligence is a very trending technology, and this is a branch of computer science. So we are from the electronic department, and it's a very great opportunity to study what are those topics are there, and that we can learn regarding the CSC concepts also. So artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science, and it learns the data, and it mimics like a human behavior, works like as a human brain, right? So it learns the data as a from patterns or data recognitions, right? And it updating itself. So that's the reason we call it like artificial intelligence, right? And also from past 3 days, we have came to know that artificial intelligence can be considered as a generative AI and discriminative AI. So generative AI means it's creating a fake samples of fake things. So what was the discriminative generative AI is coming to telling us that it conclusion is that artificial intelligence, which is playing a major role and what we see in applications in our human life, right? So in healthcare as well as the public sector, what does the AI is playing is that the AI which helps to understand AI which helps in the hospitals as well as the doctors understand the medical data very much quickly, whereas the public sector which helps to which helps to take a decision very quickly and improves efficiency as well as possible. So thank you for giving this kind opportunity to the Actor Institute and the coordinators of sitting here and all the professors. I am very so thankful for providing us such a kind of opportunity. Thank you.
Once again thanking the Department of ISC, Aetla Institute of Technology, and the honorary dignitaries and delegates present here, professors and assistant professors. Thank you for your time, for listening to us, and we are all very much grateful.
First slide. Like this, those who are not completed, tomorrow there is no article is there. Saturday, after the lunch or before lunch, you have to spend 30 minutes for this article discussion. Those who are not completed, they plan for Saturday, 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Same topic also, 2 to 3 teams also. Tomorrow will share for Saturday.
Good afternoon to one and all. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Chaitra Anuj, working as Assistant Professor for Department of CSC at Reva University. Thanks for Aetla Institute of Technology and the organizing team and to all the department employees for organizing this Atal FTP. Being a research scholar or for students or UG or PG students and for the research scholars, it is very useful because nowadays Gen AI has the more impact, and currently in the industry it has more competitors. So even my focus is also on Gen AI. So I have continued my research after my PhD in Gen AI things
chance to present an article discussion on the title Gen AI for Industry 5.0, analyzing the impact on content ChatGPT and Wave and other models. So these are the main focus of agenda for today, that is introduction, what are the key principles, takeaways, applications, conclusions. So as I said before, Gen AI has a very impact and it is a highlighted key thing where we focus more on what is happening at AI. So here, this is mainly impacted on ChatGPT, Whale and other models. So these are the authors. The main focus is on the role of Gen AI, which is shaping for the industry 5.0. So coming back to this, the main focus is on the Gen AI and drivers, key values. So these are the key highlighted things, so which can be used in different applications for modeling drivers. The key value on this is mainly focused on the customization, productivity, how effective it is in decisions making. So the next slides will be continued in 90 minutes.
Myself, Namaste, I am from University College. As Ram said, Industry 5.0 basically is for human and how to interact with machine. Machine is like IoT devices or big data analytics, or else we can say robotics nowadays. So basically, 2 points we have: human machine creativity and sustainability. In that, we can define humans are responsible for recognizing the data as well as how can we create AI tools. Nowadays, if we talk about in medical field, so we have doctors can find the accurate diagnosis so that we can get accurate and more sustainable data in a faster way. Real-time monitoring and predictive analytics. In that way, we have AI is responsible to get real data, so that AI tracks real-time data as well as can predict future outcomes. If we talk about the examples, we have weather forecasting and fraud detection in banking as well as traffic monitoring. Third point is ethical use of AI, fairness, privacy and security. So fairness is basically AI should be used in a very fair way. So basically fairness is what in an unbiased way, and privacy is people's privacy is protecting people's privacy is very important nowadays, and security is so that AI system cannot be misused or hacked. The best example of this face recognition, and the next one is IoT plus AI for smart ecosystem. When the IoT devices are connected with AI, so we can get more smart and accurate and sustainable data, as we have example of a smart home, so that we can save the energy and smart farming as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon everyone. I am Amudabala, working as an associate professor at Wave University. And as we discussed today, AI plays a main and important role in day-to-day life. So just let me explain about this with a keynote of applications. Generative AI is transforming multiple sectors through innovation and the process optimization. So nowadays even the students also are doing the AI project, which is day-to-day life. Say for example in the crop stealing and disease, leaf disease, and as well in the diagnosis, the body parts diagnosis. So nowadays our 8th semester and MTech students, everybody are doing in that case. So there are many applications we have. Few have listed in this PPT, which is in the manufacturing also we are using AI, which will predictive maintenance and the product design. And in many health sector also we are using, making use of drug discovery and the diagnosis. And in supply chain management also we are using it, where we are forecasting and risk management. And in the agriculture, so crop monitoring and the disease reduction, nowadays we are doing it. And in the retail sector, it is more profit in order to do this personalized recommendation and the pricing. And in the energy resources also we are doing it, like load forecasting and the smart grids. So So many more applications are there. So nowadays, everybody, that is, most of the projects are done based on AI. So these are all the applications that are narrated and over to Alpha.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm going to talk about the key takeaways from this. The first is efficiency and personalization sustainability. And if we talk about personalization, let's talk about how we get all the recommendations. Suppose we search a content that's already saved in our history, and based on that, we are getting the exact recommendations, and that purpose is one of the purpose that came under Gen AI. Then we have sustainability, as ma'am said, because now in agriculture there are some systems that can detect the crop diseases early. Now that saves quite a lot of time and the cost. And then we have challenges. It is also applicable across many industries. Then we have challenges. High cost because Gen AI requires a lot of IT infrastructure based on talk about privacy, cybersecurity we need because there are a lot of industry data that are required in order to implement. And then we have biases because if we talk about biases, if the AI has been incorporated with the biased nature or the discriminating things, it would not respond to the data we want. It will be more biased according to their suggestion. Now we have interoperability. Now this means that most of the industries still rely on the old machines and they are not trying to adapt. And because of that, it's very hard to generate a lot of complex data. And then we have data gap. Then we have responsible AI adoption. Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon all. Myself Thanuja from Cambridge Institute of Technology Market Practice. So to conclude about this article, we can say that generative AI is disruptive technology for Industry 5.0 and mainly it promotes innovation and productivity, and also in the background it requires strong ethical frameworks, and it mainly requires balance between the human automation, between the automation and human input. Thank you.
Now let's break. Similar 145 or 150. Same place.